Hi, this is Vinny Chopra. Thank you for again joining on my podcast, Apartment Syndication Made Easy. As you know, I wrote that book, which is a top seller in Amazon. Internationally also got a lot of acclaim, reviews and all. And this podcast is about syndication, about commercial investing. I like to bring great guests for you and dig into their story, their successes, and find out some nuggets from them so that you could really enjoy them and learn from them and then implement them. Hi guys, this is Vinney Chopra again. Remember, this is the podcast, Apartment Syndication Made Easy, sequel to the book that I wrote 3 years back, and a lot of you have really liked it. If you want a free copy of my digital copy of the book, Apartment Syndication Made Easy, just go to my website, vinneychopra.com/free book. I would like 1 million people to read it all across the world. Actually, I've got a lot of comments coming from other parts of the world. And thank you so much. If you like the content of the podcast, give us 5-star reviews on iTunes so that we can bring a lot of great guests, like we have one today, a good friend of mine. We got Max right there. Max. Do I say Sharkansky, right?
Sharkansky.
Yes. Thank you, Max, for taking the time. He's the co-founder and managing partner of and oversees all aspects of acquisitions, property management, disposition for Trion Properties, very big company. We were just talking. They own a lot of real estate in Northern California, where I live, and we were just discussing that. So we're going to talk a lot, and he's, involved in over $1 billion, guys, $1 billion. So we're going to get into his, head and see, where he's thinking the market is going to go. We're going to talk about, the ins and outs of, certain markets which are oversold right now, the trends in passive investing. I mean, you name it. We're going to talk about lots of great things. So, please give us some idea, Max, how did you get started and things like that? Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much for having me on your pod. This is awesome. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Yes.
I got started straight out of college. I went to Loyola Marymount University in LA. Yes. Actually, my partner, Mitch, went to USC, and Trion, our company name, is a combination of Trojan and Lion.
Okay.
So straight out of Loyola, I went to work as a broker at Marcus & Millichap. So I've been doing multifamily real estate since the day I graduated college.
I see.
And I was brokering for about 5 years. In 2005, my partner, Mitch, who's my childhood friend, best friend, we started buying small apartment buildings. We were both on the services side. I was a broker, and he was on the mortgage side of the business, and we both wanted to be on the buy side. So we decided to start buying some properties in San Fernando Valley in LA. I was brokering multifamily in the San Fernando Valley. So naturally, we started buying in the San Fernando Valley. That's where I had access to off-market deals, market knowledge.
Yep.
And that's where we built up our first, 4, 5, 6 property portfolio. And we left at the end of 2006 and started up our own shop. We started Trion Properties, made some hires, and continued buying. Bought one property in 2007, and then we kind of saw the writing on the wall come late 2007, early 2008.
Yeah.
In January of 2008, we changed our strategy from buying value-add multifamily to targeting non-performing debt secured by multifamily. And we were a little early on that, but we did start selling at that time. So we sold almost our entire portfolio prior to the crash. And in 9, 10, 11, 12, we did no business from private groups or private individuals. Everything we bought during that time was from lenders, from either banks or agencies or servicers.
And there was quite a few assets. Oh my gosh. I mean, people were having big sales. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So our strategy was let's buy the note. And it was a win-win situation because lenders don't really want to foreclose. Yeah. That affects their loan loss reserves, and they don't want to have all that REO on their balance sheet.
Yep.
So they'd rather sell the note at a deeper discount and have the next guy, even though they're selling it at a deeper discount, it just makes more sense for them because they don't have to increase their loan loss reserves.
Sure.
So we took advantage of that strategy and we did about 20 deals during the downturn in 9, 10, 11, 12, about 15 of which were notes, 5 of which were REOs. And coming out of the downturn, we went back to the value add business. So we picked off our last REO early 2013, and then we went back to value add and scaled it. And now we've got approximately 5,000 units in portfolio. We have a valuation of, I would call about $1.1, $1.2 billion right now in portfolio, with about another $500 million in the pipeline to purchase.
Yes.
And that's, I don't know, another.
That's exciting. Very exciting.
It is. It is.
Very good. Congratulations on
Thank you.
Amazing successes. And you did it so rightly, picking up those notes at discount. And then now after value add, their value is way higher. I bet it's, maybe, I don't know, per year average, 30, 40, 50%, did you syndicate some money or how did you do it back then?
That's a great question. Huh? When we first started, just like everybody else, friends and family, very organic. You call every single person in your iPhone phone book, right? Back then it was BlackBerry.
Yep.
And you ask for whatever kind of money and you do your first deals.
Yep.
And then when you make people money and you do right by people, word travels very quickly. So
surely.
We started, we got into deal 10, 11, 12. Then we started doing some deals with family offices, joint ventures, and we grew the business. So now we have approximately 1,000 active investors and probably 10 to 20 active larger investors that we do joint ventures with.
Yeah.
But we're growing our business. So we're always looking for more equity partners, more individual investors. And that's how we're scaling.
Very nice. Very nice. So how do you see, what has changed between, what there was in, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, 20, and now with COVID? How has that affected your business?
Hi, you are listening to Syndication Made Easy podcast. We will be right back after this short break.
Hi, thank you so much. This is Vinney Chopra, and thank you for subscribing to my podcast and YouTube channel and Facebook pages and all the great things, and LinkedIn. Connect with me. I come live to you every Friday at 9:30 Pacific with Vinney and Bo show. Please also look at that. And also the podcast, which is my apartment syndication made easy. The book I wrote a couple of years back became international top seller on Amazon International now. And then we like to bring great guests for you every week or twice a week sometime to give you a lot of great knowledge. So please subscribe. You give us 5-star reviews on the iTunes. The better the guests we can bring, and our ranking will go higher also. Thanks again for following us and really getting the most out of it. Please comment, like, share, because we would love to bring better and better material for you. How has that affected your business?
Well, in, call it whatever, 13 to 20, we rode the cycle up, right? We did great, realized a lot of deals. Fortunately, everything we bought in 18, 19, we held on during COVID.
Yes.
And we weathered the storm, because you had eviction, we're very heavy West Coast. So we had we had to deal with the eviction moratoriums and all that stuff. But we were, everybody went pencils down in March, April 2020 when COVID hit. But we kept buying, and we had a phenomenal 2020. And a lot of those deals, you can imagine, are worth significantly more because there was a window there of about 4 or 5 months where you could buy with COVID discount. And almost everything we bought that year in 2020, we bought with a COVID discount.
Oh my gosh, maybe I also got lucked out with my partner. We bought in Austin, Texas,
Great.
because our property in Melbourne, we were collecting 98% of the rents. I said, what? This 2% delinquency only, even during COVID. So Max, that's when I went to Austin. I had bought some deals there 9 years back and sold them. But then I came across a deal, Lakes, for 35 million, 308 units. And we are planning to sell it now for 58 million. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
We just bought it in September of 2020, right in the midst of the, pandemic, but lucked out because the broker relationships are so tremendous. Michael remembered me. He says, Vinney, I sold you Country Club 9 years back. I said, what? Yeah, you were the easiest guy to work with. I said, oh my gosh. Remembering me after so long, I said, you know what, Vinney's back with a lot more bucks now. So let's make a deal. So there were 15 buyers, and fortunately we got the contract and everything.
Wow.
Away,
Yeah.
But no, congratulations on really picking even during COVID. You're so right. People who made some good purchases, they, reaping the benefits.
Definitely.
Definitely. So where would you like to take us? If the new investors, where should they invest now? What would you kind of tell the migration trends, or what do you look for and things like Max? Yeah.
So I'll tell you a little bit about what we're doing. And naturally, that's what I think you should do, because that's what we're doing. So as I mentioned to you before we started the pod, we are an LA-based firm.
Yep.
I'm born and raised California, but I moved to Miami last year.
Yep.
June of 2021, I moved to open up a shop in Miami, and that expanded us into the Southeast.
Yep.
So that office is now, and the goal was at the time, let's get into Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. And we are more or less officially now in all 4 states. We're in Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, Savannah, Charleston, South Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina. So we had a great year last year. We're continuing to have a great year this year. We did that for a couple reasons. One of the reasons was to diversify out of the West Coast and a very difficult political environment for our business. Number 2 is to capture all that growth, right? The growth in the Southeast is just tremendous.
Yes.
You have everybody coming from the Northeast, everybody coming from the upper Midwest. Even before COVID, there was a lot of in-migration. And now with COVID, pedal to the metal, work from home, people realize they don't just need to live in LA, New York, and Chicago, and there are other places you could do business. Yeah. So it's really changed the country, and we want to be there to capture that growth. So what I would tell your listeners is invest in places with heavy in-migration, low taxes, affordability, good weather, and all of that translates into the Sun Belt.
So true.
A lot of great opportunities in the Sun Belt, Smile states, including, maybe a little bit into California too. So in California has kind of become a 4-letter word over the past couple of years with everything that's gone on. However, there are a lot of places in California that get in migration from other areas in California. So if you look at the news, you look online, everybody talks about the California exodus, but there's a lot of migration happening, say from San Francisco to Sacramento, from LA to Inland Empire, from LA to San Diego, LA to Orange County. So places like Orange County, San Diego, all those markets I just mentioned, you've got 15, 20% rent growth year over year, because people are leaving the urban core like LA and San Francisco that have had some quality of life issues also. And they're going to those markets, and you've got a tremendous amount of growth.
So true. So very true. Exactly. And, another thing I wanted to mention to the audience, as I've done 38 or so syndications so far, but now I'm chasing also retirement communities. You and I talked before the pod, like in Florida, we are big times there with senior assisted living and memory care. It's multifamily to its core, but it's got beautiful things in it. It's got restaurant in it, full. And then of course, movie theaters, spas, salons, meeting rooms, game rooms, library. So my residents who are older people, they enjoy the experience. It's like a resort kind of thing, and that's where I'm heading on Monday with my daughter, Monica, and we are opening up Punta Gorda. It took us 10 months to build it from ground zero. It took us 11 months to get the permits.
Wow. That's amazing.
I know. And then we had shortages of materials and labor, how it was in 2021. But we are very happy to say that, generator came in. Now we installed it. We are putting the gas lines to generate, and then we'll get certificate of occupancy. And the exciting part is, are you ready, Max? We have 50% already sold. What? We have seniors who have given us deposits already. The day I open the door,
it's not for rent, it's for sale.
It's for, no, it's for rent. These are my,
I see.
My residents, we have already done the due diligence on their financial and their own health. And they have given me deposits to move into the assisted senior living and memory care.
What prompted you to get into that business?
I'm so glad. I'll be 70 years this year. I
look great.
Like, I don't know, 40, 50, whatever. But, I will be 70. Seniors have really captured my, thinking for the last 4 years, because 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every night. Every single night, 10,000. 4,000 seniors are turning 70 and 72, and close to 3,500 into 80s and 85. Wow. So there is a huge pent-up demand for senior housing. And the same thing is true in senior housing. There are like 5, 6 different sections of it, Of course, the one which is choice-driven and, downsizing in gated communities, golf courses. We are not into that, but we are into only the sweet spot of assisted living and memory care. That's what we are.
And did you do, that's a very nuanced, management intensive business. Did you do it with an owner operator, or how did you get into it?
I'm so glad. Actually, my partner has been doing it for 10 years. So we just joined hands about 3.5, 4 years back ourselves. And now we are blasting, and we are self-managing vertically also. So when we, buy the land with no permits, when it's cheap land, and then we do all the phase studies and capture rate studies and all, Max. And then we do the construction loan. Maybe you and I should talk. Maybe there is something, we could do over there as joint venture or something.
Sure.
Yeah. But it's a pretty exciting field, because for the next 30 years, it's going to be one of the biggest segment of multifamily, senior housing, because the seniors will be 1 million seniors.